Hi everyone. Thanks a lot for joining today. Myself Arjun, I'm co-founder and CEO of Video SDK. Today, the session is about the implementing the live streaming and the React Native. Uh, Me and Ahmed both are going to be host today. Hopefully, you like this session. So before jumping to anything else, I'll share some of the detail about our product, Video SDK, how we build this, and how it can help you. So let me just share my screen and give you a basic idea about the same. Okay, here we are. So Video SDK is a live video infrastructure for the developers. We're trying to solve the problem for the developers. Now, it has been never easier uh, for a creators to go live together. If you see the advancement of network capabilities such as 5G, fiber to home, accessibility of high quality camera such as mobile camera or creator tools, as well as launching of new devices which can help you a lot with the video, such as cameras in the smartwatch, cameras and wearable devices like VR headset, glasses, and video disc phones. All these devices are helping a lot for creators to go live very easily with very comfortable environment. Apart from this, as an audience, we human being are really visual creature. We love to see replication of real world virtually with the video, with the games, with everything around us. And apart from that, the modern devices are becoming our organ on a daily basis. Like we cannot live without using mobile phones. We cannot live without laptops, or even we cannot live without smartwatches nowadays. And the future is very similar. While each of these devices share a common feature, which is video. Video has been there and always been there, but now it's becoming more immersive and interactive. If you see the past broadcast of a video, it was a one-way broadcast to the millions of viewers. But now, due to the social media and all these devices, it's becoming part of our daily lives. Millions of people are going live and millions of people are joining them. The future of video is more engaging and collaborative. But if you see the example of such kind of application, each and every large social media application is embracing the same live interaction, such as Instagram live rooms, YouTube together, or Twitch guest mode, or virtual reality workspace from Meta. Or if you see the gaming environment like Roblox or Fortinet, they all have voice, video, and collaborative live streaming in their application, which says that all the modern application using the video and collaborativeness to have the better engagement with their users. But it has been much hard for developers to build such kind of live products. I mean, it takes months to build it with the different kind of tools, services, and the platform. And sometimes you have to use bulky open source uh, encoders to accomplish the same. And not all these solutions are optimized for device and browser. So you have to program for that. There's a high latency across the globe, complex billing cycle while you are scaling the solution, and a very less customization and the flexibility available. So for developers, it's hard to build. It's really tough to scale, and it's all the most important part is it's tough to do it in a multiple device at the same time. So that's where Video SDK comes into the picture and helps you to build engagement. Video SDK is a one single SDK to build live interaction in your app. It's easy to integrate, it's cross-channel, it helps developer to build a completely customizable experience, with the video SDK infrastructure, and that will help you to scale it on a large scale. If I talk about the products of the video SDK, we do have two major products. One is the audio video conferencing SDK. Another is the interactive live streaming SDK. With the audio video conferencing, we do provide 300 plus participant support in a one single room, less than 90 ms latency globally, and cross-device support like iOS, Android, desktop, web browser, etc., etc. It does also provide multiple platforms such as Flutter, React-native, Android, iOS, React.js, so on and so forth. It provides a conferencing solution with high bitrate and a frame rate. And apart from that, it helps you to build a collaborative features within your application. On the other side, we have an interactive live streaming SDK which supports millions of participants. Over here, we have a 3 to 8 second of delay, but comparatively, this is the best solution for the large scale. We use HTTP live streaming technology with 8 to 64 video encoding, which almost support 98% of devices across the globe. So you don't have to, deal with jitter. You don't have to deal with latency. You don't have to deal with the compatibility, and it feels very lightweight on the SDK. It supports the co-streaming. It supports playback compared to traditional real-time solution, and you can output it as a RTMP or HLS, which helps you to build a highly engaging experience with a very low cost. If I talk about the features of interactive live streaming, you can do a co-streaming with multiple people at the same time. You can customize the video experience by changing the background, by using the callouts, by having the layout effects, or having the multiple people on the stage. So this will help you to build a very smooth experience or a heavily customized experience for your user. You don't have to deal with any backend SDK over here. It's all front end, right? And you'll never have to deal with bulk encoders or FFmpeg to accomplish all the stuff. We solve for this, and it's dynamic. You can change it at any point of time. At some point, you can have a spotlight view. At some point, you can have a sidebar view, so on and so forth. It provides a high quality live streaming support. It does have a more than 50,000 of viewer support, a very much good bitrate for mobile and desktop and other devices. And it adjusts the bitrate and frame rate and every other parameter of the quality based on the device configuration, supported codecs, as well as the internet bandwidth. And it changes dynamically to give the best experience without any buffering. If I'll talk about the use case, one of the best use case of interactive live streaming is, of course, gaming. You wanted to build a live streaming solution like Twitch with the chat, with the interaction, with having multiple people collaborating together. It's 100% possible with the video SDK. Apart from that, live shopping is another use case. If multiple creators wanted to go live and sell the product online with interactions like automated checkouts, chat, gifts, and all other things. The third use case is education, such as you wanted to customize the live streaming for poll, for whiteboard, to have a lot of features, as well as people can jump in and ask the question on the stage. That's 100% possible with the video SDK. So that's it from my end, everyone. The next is Ahmed. He'll explain the implementation of the same by using the video SDK. He's leading our SDK team, and he'll help you to understand how it's viable. Thanks a lot for your time. Over to you, Ahmed, for the next session.
Hello, everyone, and thanks, Arjun, for the brief introduction of interactive live streaming. So now let's implement it in the React Native. using video SDK. So let me just share my screen. So I hope my screen share is visible to you. Okay. So let's open the documentation of video SDK. So we will go to the guide and select the React Native SDK. So we will implement a quick start of the interactive live streaming. So we will go to the quick start guide and select the start with interactive live streaming. So in this page, here are some of the prerequisites. So we will need the video SDK developer account and the Node.js environment and Android Studio or Xcode installed. So so before implementing, let's understand the app architecture we will be build. So let me hide this pop-up. So here you can see the three screen. The first one is the joining screen, which will be responsible for joining the speaker or the viewer. And the speaker screen, as you can see, there are two participants. One is me, and the second one is my colleague Rajan. And here you can see some meeting controls: the toggle webcam, the toggle mic, and go live buttons. And on the header bar, you can see the copy meeting ID button. And for to leave the session, for this leave button. And on the viewer side, you can see the player of live stream. So the viewer is only able to play the live stream, and on the header we can see the same button as the speaker has, the copy meeting and the leave the session. Okay, so now let's get started with the code. So in the first step, you have to first create the app, and we'll install the video SDK. The package name is video SDK.live/React Native SDK. So I have already created the app in my system, and I have already performed this step in the Android. And you can also perform the same step at your environment. So let's start it with the register service. So let's copy this code and go to the index.js file and import the register function from the video SDK.live React Native SDK. So this will register all the dependency which are used in React Native SDK. So let's call this register method in the index.js file. Okay. So the very first step is get started with the api.js file. So in the api.js file, we are seeing the constant of auth token and the create meeting function. The auth token is basically we can use for initialize meeting and create new meeting. So basically there are two ways to generate token. So let me go to the guide of the generating token. So yeah, as you can see, the first one is generating token from the video SDK dashboard, and the second one is generating token in your backend. So the first step is very simple. So in the second step, you have to provide the API key and secret key. This both value will be which you will get in the video SDK dashboard, and after that set some expiration time, and you can get the JWT token, and you can use it for the create meeting and initialize the meeting. So in this session, we are referring this first step. So let's sign up to the video SDK.live. Sign up with Google. I will choose my Gmail account, and this will redirect me to the dashboard. Okay, so in the project configuration section, we can go to the view all button, and over here you can generate different project, and different project you can generate token for the different projects. So here this API key is auto generated. So we will click on the generate token button and choose the expiration of the token time. So we will select 7 days expiry, and yeah, next. So first, before copy this token, let's copy api.js file and create new file api.js. So yeah, okay. So now we have put the code over here. So now let's replace the token. Copy the token and so yeah, now we have successfully replaced the token. Now let's close this tab. Let's close this tab and yeah. So we have successfully performed the first step, and the second step is the wireframing of the app.js file. So before continue step 2, let's understand some of the main concept of the React Native video SDK.live React Native SDK. So the first one is the meeting provider, which is responsible for configuration and initialize of the meeting by providing token and some of the property such as the participant name and the webcam on is and the mic on, some different properties. And the meeting consumer, it will listen all the events in the SDK. So we will not use this meeting consumer in the current app. So let's ignore that for now. So the basically two hooks are most important part of this SDK. The first one is the use meeting hook. So use meeting hook is basically responsible for handling all the meeting class, which will return the methods, the events, and the properties of the use of the meeting. So as we can see, the methods, the use meeting is returning the join meeting, the change webcam. The change webcam is because it will switch the camera. So by default, it will stream from the rear camera. So we will if we call this change webcam function, it will stream from the front camera. So basically, in the interactive live streaming, we want the stream coming from the front camera. So yeah, so the next is toggle mic, toggle webcam, and these both functions are related to the interactive live streaming. And the last one is the leave. So apart from this function, there is also some other methods are provided by the use meeting hook. You can check out the documentation. So yeah, here the events on meeting joins and the properties meeting ID and HLS stats. Okay. So now the second hook is use participant. So use participant is basically accept the participant ID, and it will return the particular participant information such as the participant display name, and the participant has webcam on is and the participant has mic on, and also return the webcam stream of that particular participants. So yeah, let's copy this code of the app.js and put it to our app.js file. So yeah, let's API. Yeah, so here we have imports some React properties such as use state, use memo, use ref, and the React Native components, safe area view, text input, playlist, etc. And in the React Native SDK, we are importing use meeting hook, meeting provider, use participant. This both we will be covered in the upcoming steps. So yeah, so also we are importing these two, the constant auth token and create meeting function from the API, which we have created earlier. So yeah, so here I have defined here the predefined function is implemented. So we will implement it in upcoming steps. So for now, let's minimize it, and yeah, let's jump to this app.js app function. So yeah, here the both state is provided. First one is for the meeting ID. We will set from the join screen, and the second one is the mode. Basically, the default is we have set the conference mode. So conference mode is basically SDK is provide two modes. We have to pass it under the meeting provider. So the conference mode and the viewer mode. So the conference mode is basically for the speaker who is responsible for publishing media such as audio and video, and the viewer mode is basically for the viewer side, basically for the audience side. So it will only responsible for the consuming media stream and play the media stream. So the audience not responsible for publishing such kind of media or audio. So yeah, you can see the conditional rendering of the auth token and the meeting ID. If these two fields are not provided, this will be redirected to join screen. So in this second step, we will be implementing join screen. So here you can say the meeting provider accept the configuration of the meeting ID, and the mic enable, webcam enable properties, and the name, and also the mode. So yeah. So the third step is implement join screen. So let's copy this whole code and replace it with our implementation. So now let's run the app. I hope my screen is visible to you. So yeah, here we are getting the 3 button and the 1 text input. So this join as host and the create studio room are both button for the speaker side. So if I have the predefined meeting ID, I will be clicking join as host. If the viewer has predefined ID, he will add the meeting ID and join as viewer. So if I don't have any meeting ID, so I will create the studio room. So yeah, you can check the code like join as host, which accept the text meeting ID value and pass it to the app.js, so which will be using in the meeting provider. And for the viewer side, we are setting the mode of the viewer so that meeting provider allow the audience to join the meeting. So we have completed and we have implemented the join screen successfully, as you can see the output. Now the fourth step is implement the container components. So what is container component? So this container component is basically responsible for managing speaker view and the viewer view. So after the joining meeting, so this component decides the particular participant is the speaker or the viewer. So here you can see the mode of the participant. If the mode of the participant is conference, we will return the speaker view. The container component will return speaker view. Or if the mode is the viewer, the container component will return viewer view. Else, it will provide the join button screen where we will just calling the join button method and put some timeout and calling the change webcam method, so that we will streaming from the front camera. So let's copy this thing. Also this the join method which we are getting from the use meeting hook, and also the change webcam method we are also getting from the use meeting hook. So let's copy. Let me close this one, and replace the container components. So yeah, now let's check the output. So let's create studio room. So yeah, we are getting the press join button to enter studio. So currently the meeting is initialized, but the meeting is not joined successfully. So after we will click the join button, so that join method is called from the use meeting hook. So let's, yeah, we are getting the white screen because we haven't implement such kind of view. So let's implement by following upcoming steps. So yeah, we also get this output. Now this fifth step is to implement speaker view. So basically in this function, we are getting the participant from the use meeting and filter only the conference participant. So we just want to render only the conference participant in the speaker list. So yeah, we have to filter out, otherwise it will render all the viewer plus conference both participant lists. So yeah, after that we will provide header view and the speaker list, render this list using speakers. So speakers, it will return the participant ID of the conference mode. So yeah, so the speaker view and header view. So header view is basically for the copy meeting ID and leave the session. Yeah. So 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 this step we will perform in the upcoming steps, because we have to identify it. So first, let's just copy this code, the speaker view. Okay, so basically this code is coming from the container, so we will just copy this function and put it to the container, but we cannot use, we will comment it out, we can use it later. So yeah, we have get the header view and the speaker render speaker list and the header view. So right now we will just only able to see the header view components. Yeah. Now we will implement a speaker list which will able to display the participant media, and after that we will implement the controls of the meeting. So yeah, so in the next step we will implement the participant view, which will accept the participant ID which we have passed in the flat list. As you can see over here in the participant view, we are passing the participant ID coming from the speakers. Okay, so this participant view is responsible for rendering particular participant media. So here we are getting the webcam on status and the webcam stream from the use participant of that particular participant ID. So yeah, here we have put one conditional rendering. So if the webcam on and webcam stream value is available, so that after we are rendering the webcam stream into the RTC view. So RTC view is basically for the rendering the webcam stream. Otherwise, no media will appear in the participant view. So let's copy this code and replace the participant view. So yeah, so now let's join the meeting. Here we are getting the stream because it is emulator. We will join from the real device as well. Let's complete the implementation first. So yeah, here the stream is available. So in the third step of speaker view, we will implement the controls. So basically these controls are toggling media and starting and stopping HLS, which is live stream, and also return the HLS states. So let's copy this and replace it with our code. Let me find the controls function. Yeah, let's replace it. So here this button are managing some HLS state. Based on the HLS state, we are returning some strings. So if the HLS state is started, we are setting the text live starting. So yeah, so yeah, we have already declared the controls of the meeting. So let's jump to the implementation. Yeah, so as we can see here, the header is fill up with the meeting ID, copy meeting ID button, leave, and the participant and the speaker list. And here you can see the toggle webcam, yeah, we can get no media because I have toggled the webcam right now and the toggle mic and the go live button. So let me join from my real device so you can have a better idea about it. So I have connect. So yeah, let's run the project in my real device. So yeah, now I have run the application in the emulator as well as my real device. So let's first create the studio room from here, join the session, and the copy meeting ID. Yeah, we are getting notification and paste it over here. And the click on join as host. So its meeting is initializing in the real device. Let's just wait for the moment. Think I think the meeting ID is not same. Just a moment. Let me add PV. Let me add manually 6B BY to IL and Z. Okay. So I think the meeting ID is wrong. So let's for now let's just statically pass in the meeting provider. So yeah, as you can see, the speaker list. This one is the emulator, and this one is from my real device. Okay. For now, just close this meeting, and yeah. Now the last step is to implement the viewer side view. So in this step, we will require the React Native Video third-party package, which will render the media live stream. So let's first add into our project. So yeah, so first import the video from the React Native Video and copy this part to the viewer view. So let's find the viewer view. Yeah. So here we are getting two properties, the HLS state and the HLS URL from the use meeting. So whenever the speaker is starting the HLS, the different state is returning from the SDK. So if the SDK is written HLS playable. So on this state we are only play the live stream. Otherwise we will rendering this message that HLS is not started yet or it is stopped. So let's go to the implementation site. Let me open the app in my real device, and after that create studio room, join that session, copy this meeting ID. Just a moment, I have some changes. Yeah, let me copy this meeting ID and paste it over here and click on join as viewer. So yeah, here we are getting the HLS is not started yet or it is stopped. So here we will start the HLS by clicking on go live. So yeah, here you got the status like live starting. Okay, let me import the constants file. Currently the constant is not coming from. Let me statically at the conference point. Okay, let's copy this meeting ID again, paste it over here, and we will join as viewer. Yeah, we are again getting the constants error. Let's just wait for a moment. Let's reload the meeting. Again creating studio room, join the meeting ID button, and we'll join as viewer. Yeah, we are getting the challenge not started. Let's start the go live. I think it's. Let me check. Let's rerun the code application. Sorry guys, I'm having some weird error. I hope you can understand. It's quite taking too much time. So let's try again. So yeah, as we can see the player of live stream, but the problem is we are getting the viewer participant in the live stream. So to remove that, we have to pin that speaker participant and start the live streaming again. So we will uncomment this code which we have pasted before while implementation of container components. So here we will on the meeting join event, we will first get that that participant is having conference mode. After that, we will pin that participant so that that participant is only available in the live stream. So yeah, let's reload the applications and start again. So let me close it down. We rejoin the application and create studio room. Join the meeting. Copy the meeting ID. Okay. And we will join as a viewer from the emulator. Okay, we are getting the HL is not started, so we will start by clicking go live. I hope this time can start. Hopefully. So yeah, here you are getting the live streaming of the speaker. Here are some basic control of the video and the header, the copy meeting ID and the leave session. So yeah, so this is the basic application of the interactive live streaming. And if you want to check out this whole code, you can visit our GitHub repo. And here you can find the React Native HLS. You can find all the code over here. And apart from that, you want to integrate some more features such as co-host and the message. you can follow our guide over here. You can find all the related the feature in the interactive live streaming section. So let me provide you the link in the chat box. So let's close this link. So yeah, do you have any doubts? So let me stop the screenshot.
So thanks a lot for joining, everyone. If we will start the Q&A. If you have any questions, please just let us know. Before jumping to anything else, I would like to ask one question to Ahmed. So Ahmed, one of the chat members said, is it compatible with the new React Native architecture?
Yeah, it's completely compatible with the new React Native architecture.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for that. I'll go with all other questions. Let me just the one of the user asked, how is the app's performance when a large number of people, say 500 people, join together? So if you can elaborate over that.
So you will not find any laggy while using this application, because at the speaker side we are only rendering the participant who are publishing the video and audio. On the viewer side we are not rendering the participant stream. So at the viewer side we are only rendering the player. So that's why it can handle up to the 5,000 participant plus.
Great. Thanks a lot for that particular answer. The same user said, they have faced the heating issue, in the other version. So they're hoping it is much better compared to that specifically. I think that's it. And React Native architecture. So one more question is, does it support the customizable?
Yeah, it's pure customizable. Even if you want to follow our code sample, which are very which we have developed, that the UI of that code sample is very perfect. Let me share it to you and show the example in the GitHub. So yeah, so this sample code is very we have implement for better user experience. As you can see, there is a feature of co-host we have already implemented in this sample as well, and also the chat viewer and speaker both can chat to engage in that particular stream as well. Yeah, and also you can use it in the portrait view and the landscape view as well. Yeah, as you can see here.
Great. The another question is that basically, just a moment, can we remove the controls of the players, go live and everything from the screen?
Yeah, you can control, but you have to manage it by yourself, how you can handling that media and how you can handle that the start streaming and the stop streaming.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Nilesh said, thanks a lot for interesting session. Thanks a lot, Nilesh, for joining in. Another question is, I have Firebase Crash Analytics enabled in my app. Will I receive any logs in the case live streaming doesn't work out?
Yeah, you can get the Crash Analytics after implementation. Yeah.
Perfect. And apart from that, to just one more point, Binod, with the HLS player, there are a lot of analytics available. So whichever player you will use, you get a lot of logs from there as well, quality, errors, and all those stuffs. The another question is is the web and React Native SDK similar? Can be the same hooks used both platforms?
Yeah, you can use the both hooks in the web React SDK and the mobile React Native SDK. Only the component is different, uh, differ for each platform. So in the web, for the view side, you can use the div, and for text you can use the p tag. But at the React Native side, you just have to use the text component and the view component or the safe area view component. Only this functionality can be differ, but the overall SDK structure is similar in both the platform, web as well as the mobile side. So you can execute this app in the iOS as well, because in this session I have only run it in our Android device. So you can also achieve in the iOS platform as well.
Great, great. So one last question is, sorry if I'm too many. In this case, a particular device for which it doesn't work, do you provide enterprise support in that case? So let me answer that. Like we 100% provide a really good support. We're very well known for our great support, by the way. And a lot of developers, we have helped them to onboard. Ahmed himself helped a lot of companies to get the things done on the large scale. So in that case, you'll never get disappointed. Another question is like, Sir and PIP supported both in Android and iOS.
So the screen share is currently available in the Android and iOS both, but the PIP supported is in our roadmap, so we can work on it later.
Makes sense. So
But you can integrate in your environment as well.
Makes sense.
So it is not dependent on the SDK itself.
Makes sense. So PIP is isolated. Specifically, you can have that. You can have a larger control over that. Yet we do not have included it in the documentation. Great. The last question I would like to ask Ahmed is regarding the what kind of steps, or what kind of carefulness developers should have for the performance while implementing the SDK. If you can just elaborate what they should take care of while making sure that they'll implement the best performance solution.
So at the performance level, currently lot of users are experiencing like they render too much participant media in the one screen, so they don't manage the grid type, that pause resume streams type. So so they can achieve it by only screen participant are only play the stream, and the rest of the participant they have to pause the stream, so that more bandwidth is not allocated to that out of the screen participants. Only which we are seeing the participant is allocated to that particular bandwidth.
Great. Thanks a lot for all the answer, Ahmed. It was really intuitive. So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in. Hopefully, it was a great session for you. Feel free to follow us on the YouTube for more such kind of session. Stay in touch on a LinkedIn. We're updating a lot of things over here, and be a part of our developer community. We would love to have you. Even though you don't have a use case, we'd love to have your feedback. If you can, just try it out and let us know, if we can improve anyway. So thanks a lot for joining. Have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye bye.